everyone, welcome back to Suffer. Let's deep dive into a topic where we all can relate: stress, anxiety, and feeling overwhelmed under being pressured. Do you find yourself constantly stressing over the smallest things or being anxious from making big life decisions? Trust me, you're not alone. You're anxious whether you're going to pass this exam or these things will be sudden or not sudden. And they can drive us crazy if we allow it to. Today I'm going to share some tips how to handle stress and anxiety and gain controls on your thoughts and emotions. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to meditate. Before we begin, make sure unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, let your entire body relax, and let's go. Tip number 1, no matter what happens, you will be fine. From the book I read, Unfuck Yourself, I learned this perspective of seeing our lives moments. If we put ourselves in a running train and we're at the current station, this train has passed the train rails from the left, which is our past, and this train will operate along the rails on the right, which will be our future. In the past, there have been ups and downs, happy moments, brutal sadness, losing someone you loved. Whatever that is, we've overcome and reached to our current position where we call present. You had the power to solve things and created the version of yourself in current situation, which proves that any worst or best scenarios that you will have from now, you will go through and you'll be fine. You will be fine. No matter what happens, you will be fine. And that simple shift in perspective brought me instant relief to my mind. I was massively stressed about this coding assessment in my uni days, and at that point I was so close to fail this subject and for programming, and if I fail this subject I pay for the tuition fee and for this unit, and I believe in that worst case scenario I pay for the fee and I retake this unit. I was a bit scary, but worrying and being anxious about this situation didn't help me with the situation. You could have previously failed a very important exam or missed very important meetings or calls. You could have disappointed someone you loved. Those events happened even though it was sad and hard. Now look at yourself. You're still here at this moment and you're not willing to make the same mistakes again. My second tip is take a deep breath, be present. Taking a couple of deep breaths soothes your nervous system, reduce stress, and help you regain control. Even when I find myself becoming overly agitated, frustrated, I always take a deep breath. Sometimes you need to remove yourself from the situation completely to control yourself. Take a minute to breathe and calm yourself so that you can apart yourself from the situation or your personal emotions, but objective approach. I detach myself from the situation and try to look at things objective views. It's almost like I'm outside of myself and looking at the other person's handling and dealing with. I think about it logically from my perspective and how I'm seeing things, and I switch over the other person's point of view. I try to rationalize how they might feel and possibly what they're thinking. By this point, I'm pretty calm and I can see a situation for what it is. Then I bring myself back to present moment. Whatever the troubles or emotions I'm dealing with, I just stare at them. Most of the time, people will react based off of what they've assumed and what the situation to be, and without fully understanding first. Also, I try to identify what are the triggers of my stress and anxiety through this process. Am I worrying about the worst cases that might happen if it doesn't work out in a way that I expected this to be? Am I comparing myself to someone who already became successful? Am I concerned about my finance? What are those triggers of your stressful emotions and anxiety? Finding out those triggers of yours are very important as it gives us time to think and analyze. Because we can get sometimes irrational. Then I remind myself that these are the things that might happen, but has not happened yet, and there is nothing I can do for it. So let be it. I tell myself I focus what I can control right now. Know what you can control and not can control, and focus on what you can control. Tip number 3: you have power to choose your path and drive your will. Once I had a very self-destructive thought. I failed my college admission exam, like SAT in Korea, that I prepared so long for that one specific exam for one day. As a result, I couldn't get into the university that I admire to go. I grew up by calling as a smart kid, and the failure made me believe that I was a loser. And the fact that all my friends who studied together made it but not me, and that devastated me mentally. I told my mom my self-destructive thoughts and how I'm embarrassed and I'm not worth it. Now looking back, this is something you never say to your parents ever. My mom told me, you have choices. You have choices. You have a number of options and opportunities in your life. And that is the worst you can choose. You have all the other good options that you can have, and that hit me. I was so trapped of the mindset I failed. Now I'm here to tell you that, as my mom said, you have choices. You have power to choose your own path and drive your own will in the direction you want. If you think you're screwed or you failed, you lost, remember, you can steer a way that you want to be, and you can steer in a way that you believe it is the best for you, and you're capable of maneuvering your next steps. Tip number 4: determine if it's excessive worry. We all worry from time to time, especially when stress takes over. But there is a line between normal worry and excessive worry. Excessive worry involves an anxiety and apprehension about future events. It's kind of worry that seeks certainty before anything happens, intolerance of uncertainty. I learned this concept from my therapy sessions, and it's been a game changer. Here is how you divide worries into 2 ways: a real event or hypothetical event worry. By writing this worry awareness diary, you can determine whether it's real or hypothetical event worry. So in your diary, put what are you currently worrying about, and is this real or hypothetical event worry. For example, if I worry about I'm being too busy to pay this credit card, and that's a real event. Whereas if I worry about I will forget and be overdrawn and never be able to catch up with the payment on time and have a lifetime of debt, that's a hypothetical event. Another example, if it hasn't rained for weeks and the storm is forecast for tomorrow, it's a real event. However, what if I think about what if the old gum tree in the garden drops a big branch on the roof of my house? It's a hypothetical event worry. Determining if it's excessive worry helped me avoid overthinking and worrying from my uncertain situations too much. Tip number 5: talk to someone. When it comes to managing our emotional well-being, reaching out and engaging in conversation can make a significant difference. Many of us tend to bottle up our feelings, thinking we have to face our struggles alone. However, sharing our burdens with someone we trust can provide immense relief and support. Whether it's a friend, a family member, professional, talking about stress and anxiety can lead to helpful insights and fresh perspective. Remember, talking to someone doesn't mean you're weak or incapable of handling your own problems. It is a brave and proactive step toward taking control of your mental well-being. Tip number 6: you're the main character of your story. When life throws hardship on your way, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, defeated, and lost. But let me offer you an alternative viewpoint. Imagine your life as a gripping novel, a tale of adventure and self-discovery. In every great story, main character faces countless obstacles, battles, and moments of despair. Let's take a moment to reflect on the books we love. What makes them so captivating is the ups and downs, the struggles, the growth that keep us turning the pages. A book without challenges where everything is perfect and easy is not a story we'd find compelling. In the same way, our lives gain depth and meaning through trials we face. Embracing stress, anxiety, and even depression they're a necessary part of your personal growth. They even allow you to redefine your relationship with these emotions. Rather than seeing them as adventures, you can view them as catalysts for character development and resilience. They are the chapters that shape you into a hero that you are destined to become. When faced with difficult moments, remember yourself that this is just one chapter in your life's narrative. It may be challenging, painful, or uncomfortable, but it is temporary. Visualize turning the page, eagerly anticipating the next chapter, a chapter where you overcome the current challenge and emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient. By adopting this mindset, you become the author of your story. You hold the pen and the power to shape your character's journey. Embrace the unknown, for it holds the potential extraordinary plot twists and unexpected triumphs. You're the author of your story, navigating through the pages of your life with resilience and determination. So keep going, keep growing, keep writing your epic tale. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.